golden leaves, riding wind down the cliff. Honestly, I understand.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Christine. In today's video, we're styling few spaces in my kitchen with all the antique and fruit finds I've collected. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It really screams for rustic, organic, cozy and living. So if that's the kind of content you love, just keep watching. For this cozy little coffee bar, I began by layering down a square marble tree as the base. This tree has such a striking organic look, with rich brown and tan veining running across the surface. I love how it immediately elevates everyday essentials and creates an anchor for everything layered on top. On it, I placed my sparkling water machine, and right next to it, I added a flip glass pitcher that I use for easy refills. This vintage pitcher has become one of my year-round statement pieces on the countertop. It's made of thick glass with a beautifully tapered silhouette that feels both delicate and substantial. Moving along, I added my espresso machine and milk foamer. These are the true workhorses of the Nook, and together they establish the functional backbone of the coffee bar while still blending seamlessly into the overall styling. In the corner, I started layering in a group of 3 cookbooks. They instantly add warmth and personality to the space, with spines that range from crispy white to deeper browns. The various tones feel collective rather than overly matched, which give the vignette that organic, living look I love. Next to the stack, I layered it in a flame landscape painting. The palette is soft and muted, yellows, browns, and creams, depicting tall trees against a lush countryside backdrop. What makes it work so well here are the yellow undertones. They bring in warmth and tie beautifully into the floral tone sparkles throughout the coffee bar. Now for the centerpiece, I brought in a vintage cake stand that I found at a local antique store. I absolutely love its details. It rests on trapeze-style feet and has a tall arch handle finish in blush gold, which instantly adds elegancy and structure. Each tier is carved with sleek marble, giving it that understated yet luxurious look. To soften the structure, I layered in 2 thrift tea towels in complementary patterns. One has a warm yellow plaid track, while the other one is small beige yin-yang. Together, they add texture, warmth, and a touch of coziness to the stand. On top, I styled 4 modern espresso mugs with matching saucers. They're arranged dark brown with a glossy finish, and I love how they pop against the marble and bring depth to the arrangement. Life's not always a flower in the spring. For function and a little whimsy, I added a pumpkin-shaped wicker basket. It's playful yet rusty, and I love using it to store coffee pots in the way that feel intentional and festive. Cover myself with old sweater, I kept in my shelf, familiar like an old friend. Moving to the right, I layered a smaller frame wrapped in heavy linen fabric. I adjust the texture and weight of the frame itself, and inside is a delicate black and white floral sketcher. Finally, for a seasonal touch, I placed a ceramic picture vase from Maggie & Co. Its soft beige tone graduates into a slightly deeper base, creating a natural ombre effect, while the darker glaze handle adds depth and make it feel truly handcrafted. I fill in with soft, fluffy sorghum pits from Hobby Lobby in cream and burnt orange. They add height, textures, and that perfect seasonal color without overwhelming the space.
Golden trees, golden leaves, riding wind down the cliff. Honestly, I understand.
And lastly, for the backdrop, I layered it in a decorated vintage plate. It features a nostalgic harvest scene with a boy and a girl wearing pumpkins, a loyal dog by their side, and a farm landscape in the distance. The colors lean into warm orange, golden yellows, and muted blue, anchoring the palette of the vignette. Hung on the backslash, it adds height and storytelling, almost like a seasonal painting, but in plate form. While I was working on this video, my sweet husband surprised me with some florals and greenery. I just love how whimsical they look, so I decided to style them into this little coffee bar corner to tie in all the green. I started by swapping the frame for a green landscape print. The earthy tones and natural scene instantly grounding the space and set the backdrop for the greenery. Then I layered it in this airy vintage glass vase. I love its delicate arch detail. It feels light and charming, perfect for balancing the dark tones in the setup. Finally, I added the greenery on top. I make it a bit exaggerated and full, almost spilling out under the cabinet. Even though it's a small corner, I love how big and whimsical it looks. It completely transformed the vibe and made the coffee bar feel so alive.
Golden trees, golden leaves, riding wind down the cliff. Honestly, I understand. Behind the clouds, the sun is hiding when the sky lacks saturation. Honestly, I understand. I understand. Life's not always a flower in the spring, nor sweet as peaches in the summer. Just like the seasons, it's ever changing. So
Let's start building this cozy baking nook. First, I layered out this pumpkin-shaped serving bowl I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I particularly like the nature oak grain. It adds movement and warmth, and the sides make it the perfect anchor for the whole vignette, bringing that rustic organic charm. Next, I layer in a frame landscape painting I downloaded from Acid. The rustic oak frame has visible nail marks and imperfections, and since it's a street vibe, it feels even more collective. The artwork itself captures a peaceful countryside scene with trees touched by fall colors, setting a calm, nostalgic backdrop that adds both depth and warmth. Then I layered a few napkins with a soft olive green undertone and a dark brown silhouette of tree branches with perch birds. These are a Pier 1 import street vibes, and I love how they add texture while tying in the nature tones I want for this setup.
behind the clouds, the sun is hiding when the sky lacks saturation. Honestly,
On top of that, I placed two vintage clocks I found at a local antique store. The taller clock has a deep, rich brown glaze with subtle ranges from the hand-flow process, while the shorter clock has a rounder belly. They feel like little treasures, bringing that antique tongue-warm touch. I love styling them together because the difference in height adds dimension, while the earthy tones unify the look.
sweater I kept in my shelf, familiar like an old friend.
I've also turned them into utensil holders, and I especially love how the metallic accents from the flatware contrast beautifully with the rough, aged pottery around them. Now for the right side, I set down a cookbook holder from Magnolia. I love how it's came from the wood with a gentle curve on the top and a scallop lid to hold a book. For this vignette, I started with a Thrifted cookbook, which was such a jackpot find. It features seasonal dessert recipe with beautiful imagery. And I flipped to the pumpkin pie page to highlight the fall season. The dark red cover with the chocolate dessert on the front make it visually striking. So I'm excited I can excited both open it and close it for the upcoming holiday looks. After that, I brought in a rolling pink, a must-have baking staple, and then layering in a spoon rest. This piece was thrifted as well, and it slides on the back, which make it feel extra special and one of the kind. The earthy glaze has such an organic feel, and I love I could use it styling here or use as a little casual dish. Finally, I top it all off with a cluster of pumpkins from Hobby Lobby in white, orange, and green. These are always bestseller at Hobby Lobby, and each one has a slightly rusty, time-worn finish that makes them look collective rather than brand new. The green pumpkins tail back to the napkins, the white balance out the darker rusty tones, and the orange bring the perfect part of warmth that draw the eyes and screams for. And that's it, a warm, collective vignette that feels like a cozy corner ready for fall baking.
Golden trees, golden leaves, riding wind down the cliff. Honestly, I understand. Behind the clouds, the sun is hiding when the sky lacks saturation. Honestly, I understand. I understand. Life's not all.
I started this cozy little setup by layering a oval wooden serving bowl from Magnolia into the backslash. Its warm grain and cross-hatch detail immediately anchor the space. Next, I layered it in a golden thread frame that holds a pumpkin painting. The artwork itself is rich and seasonal. Creamy white pumpkin mixed with warm orange tones, all set against a rustic background. The ornate golden frame brings in just the right amount of vintage elegancy, balance the natural wood tones of the board behind it. To ground everything, I brought in a sea glass scallop tree. The textures in scallop edge adds so much character, and it gives me a contented base to build artwork from. Inside, I stacked a couple of Thrifted cookbooks, both to bring in warmth and to give a little extra lift to the pieces sitting on top. For softness, I drip into ruffled tea towels from H&M. I adore the nature color and family aging. They instantly make the whole setup feel layered and collected. On top of that, I placed this vintage low-profile vase. Its age finish is what I love most. The natural patina and weathering make it feel storied and authentic. For the florals, the first things are these organic fruit picks that I sourced from my home country. I love their raw, earthy look. The dry texture and the deep red tones feel so authentic, almost like something you gather straight from the garden at the end of harvest. To balance the richness, I mixed in cream cosmetics from Hobby Lobby. Their soft petals bring lightness and airiness to the arrangement so it doesn't feel too heavy. The combinations of the full stems with the creamy white floral create that perfect contrast, moody yet fresh, grounded yet delicate.
This empty hall, I embrace my fall. I see my breath, cover myself with old sweater I kept in my shelf, familiar like an old friend.
On the right side, I style my electric peppers and style grinders from Amazon. Their matte finish in warm brown tone feel modern yet understated, blending seamlessly into the vignette. Up front, I stack some fruit glasses apple dishes. The crispy texture pattern sparkles against the earthy tones. I fill the top one with scarlets for a functional touch, then finish by scattering a few dry petals across the dish and towels to create that relaxed, living look I always loved.
Golden trees, golden leaves, riding wind down the cliff. Honestly, I understand. Behind the clouds, the sun is hiding when the sky lacks saturation. Honestly, I understand. I understand. Life's not always a flower in.
Let's start styling this seasonal touch on the kitchen island. I began with this statement vase from Pottery Barn. It has an interesting rustic finish. The matte, earthy brown surface almost look like aged terracotta, with subtle variation that make it feel timeless and handcrafted. Its curvy shape gives its pleasant on the kitchen island, making it the perfect anchor piece. To fill it, I'm styling it with hydrangeas stems from Hobby Lobby, two bestsellers that I've had to hunt down across different locations. I'm using six cream and six deep purple stems to create this exaggerated, full arrangement. The mix of muted yellows with moody purples instantly set the full tone, adding both richness and drama. Together, they bring in that seasonal mood I love. Cozy, abandoned, and just a little bit romantic. Next, I layer in the serving bowl from Target. I love the mix of rusty wood and slick marble. The rectangle shape makes it so easy to work with. On top, I arranged two sets of three glassware to play with textures and height. The golden goblet glasses are so pretty with their embossed detail, while the amber tone glasses bring in that warm, moody glow. Together, they add almost like a natural base and glass pairing, giving me a mid-high layer and a lower high layer. To complete the grouping, I added this pumpkin candle, one of my favorite finds from Home Goods. It has a rustic wooden base with a glass pumpkin lid that makes it extra special. The scent is so good. I love casually open the lid and letting it place next to the base, create a living, cozy vibe. You also laugh at the first sight when I spotted it, and it adds the perfect sensory detail here. To finish the vignette, I layered it in this decorative bowl, which originally was a mini planter I brought back from my home country. I fell in love with its organic rustic shape and textured surface. Inside, I started a mix of three bowl fillers, the natural accents that immediately draw me in. They even including little pumpkins, but in softer, muted orange rather than bright orange, which makes them feel understated and elegant. I love how this natural texture ties back the rest of the vignette, grouping the look with earthy warmth. I scatter a few of the fillers across the serving bowl for a casual collective feel, with a glass of red wine poured and a candle glowing nearby. The whole island moment transformed into a cozy, vintage-inspired corner, layered, inviting, and perfectly seasonal.
trees, golden leaves.
That's it for today's video. Leave in the comment to let me know what was your favorite setups. Subscribe my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a like. It really helps spread love and encouragement in my channel. And yes, thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Life's not always a flower in the spring.